You're listening to the Build Your Wealth podcast, episode number 44. I'm sure that you've heard the phrase, the riches are in the niches. On today's show, I'm inviting you behind the scenes of my six-figure online business and showing you how the lack of having a niche in the beginning made getting my business so hard to get off the ground. So stay tuned. Ugh. It's that time of day again. Time to get up and make someone else rich. Hi there and welcome to the Build Your Wealth podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Thompson. Over the years, I've taken the skills I've learned as a dedicated employee in multiple fields and turned it into a thriving six-figure online business to create a wealth of my own. Now I'm here to teach you how to do the same thing. I share my successes and failures as an online business owner with you to help you avoid the pitfalls that can come with being an entrepreneur in the online space. It's my goal to help you achieve your success faster, adopt the right mindset for that success, and to show you how failing forward is all part of the process in building your wealth instead of someone else's. This is the Build Your Wealth podcast. Hello again. Welcome to the Build Your Wealth podcast. This is your host, Nicole Thompson, and I am super excited you're here today because today you're getting a peek behind the curtain into how I created my six-figure online business by harnessing the power of narrowing my niche. Now, before we get started today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about print on demand. If you'd like to get started creating your own online business, or if you'd like to add an additional stream of income to your business, I'd recommend getting started with print on demand. With print on demand, you don't need to have any inventory on hand. You don't need to buy into anything or ship anything. And it's a great way to practice narrowing your niche. If you're interested in learning more about getting started with a print on demand business, I invite you to download a free copy of my Beginner's 5-Step Roadmap to Print on Demand. In this roadmap, I go over how to get started creating a print-on-demand business in 5 easy steps. To download your free copy, go to www.nicolethompsonnow.com/howtopod. That website again is www.nicolethompsonnow.com/howtopod. And I'll put that link in the show notes for you too, so you can be sure to grab your free copy today. Now let's get into the good stuff. Now, I'm guessing you've likely heard the phrase, the riches are in the niches. And frankly, I'd heard it too, but I wasn't applying it to my business when I first started out. When I first started my business, I wanted to be absolutely everything to everybody. And I didn't ever want anyone coming to my website without finding what they wanted. I didn't ever want anyone calling me and have to tell them, no, I don't do that, or I don't offer that. If you went on my website, you could basically find everything you could ever possibly want, need, or desire. And if you called to ask what I did, I would basically say, whatever you need. And if it was something that I didn't already offer, I would scramble to figure out a way to offer it. I was saying yes and then figuring out how to do it later. And basically by doing this, I was running myself into the ground and never, ever focusing on any one direction in particular. I was also making basically zero progress in my business. I was about 2 years into the business and struggling to figure out how to get any real success, struggling to make any real progress. And I was getting so frustrated. I mean, what more could I possibly offer, right? I was studying everything I could find on how to have a successful online business. I was studying everything I could find on how to get found online. And everything I found I was implementing, and yes, some of it was helping. But none of it was giving me any real meaningful progress in my business. It wasn't until one day, out of sheer desperation, I went into an online forum and straight up asked for some advice and opinions on my website. And the responses I got, I'll admit, didn't make me very happy. Because basically what I was told was that my website had no real direction, so why would anyone ever shop there? Ouch. That hurt. At first it was my pride. Next it was anger. 2 years. 2 years I had spent on this, and they hated it. Some of the responses I got were kind, while others, not so much. But all had the same general tone and advice. I needed to find a niche. Now, oddly enough, the name of my website was not terribly generic as far as niches go. The name of my website was pet-themed, because my original intention was to start a pet-themed niche for my business. But through being naive and completely uninformed upon starting my business, I panicked and basically just tried to please absolutely everyone. So if I got someone to call in and ask a question about the business, regardless of what they were asking for, I had been saying yes. And then I would add the product or service to my website. And all that was doing was adding fuel to the fire of the mess my business had become. As much as I didn't like what those people in the forum were saying about my website, it didn't make it any less true. I needed to make a change. So it was then that I revamped my entire business, my entire website, and my entire approach to my business online. As hard as it was to cut ties with the other products that I knew some people wanted, it didn't speak to the nature or to the niche that I needed to create for my business. So I reorganized everything on my website. I removed all of the products that didn't go directly with my niche, and I completely changed the look and feel of my website to reflect a pet-themed place to shop. Within just a few weeks, my business began to really take off. I started getting people contacting me more frequently, and I started to get more sales. I started to get people saying that they were so excited to finally find a place to go that fit their specific needs. I started to get more organic traffic because people were actually searching for the things that I was putting on my website. And when they got there, they were finding more things that were similar to their original search, which increased my average order size. I was starting to get referrals because the people that were finding my website were finding it valuable and sharing it with other people that they knew would appreciate and need what I was offering. By narrowing down my niche, I created something that was in demand, easy to use, and relatable. Now, I tell you this story to help you realize just how important narrowing your niche is. Had I opened my eyes to this 2 years sooner, my business would have taken off that much sooner, as well as I wouldn't have spent so much time on the struggle bus. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, I ended up being nothing to no one. By narrowing the focus of what my site offered instead of trying to offer everything, I was able to help a more specific audience. And by doing so, I was actually able to help more people. Think about it like this. You wouldn't go to a shoe store and expect to be able to find a turkey sandwich. You wouldn't go to an appliance store and expect to book your next vacation. Now, yes, I know these things are extreme examples, but the fact remains, if you offer absolutely everything, then there's no real specific need to shop your store. Let's face it, you're not going to be the next Amazon when you're first starting out. By providing items that are all in the same genre, all of the same theme, it may feel like you're shutting out a lot of potential customers. But what you're actually doing is opening up the door to the customers that specifically need your products and services the most. Because if you walked into the grocery store and found out that now all of a sudden they're selling hot tubs, you'd probably feel like you just walked into the wrong store, right? It's the rare occasion that the person looking for a hot tub is going to need them at the same time that they walk into the grocery store for a carton of eggs. Could it happen? Sure, I suppose so. But just how many people are going to need that hot tub at the same time that they need to go to the grocery store? I know, it sounds silly. But when you try to be everything to everyone, that's exactly what that is. Now, I'm not trying to discourage you from shooting for the stars. Because if you stick to your guns, you're going to do amazing things. Just make sure that you're aiming at what you're shooting for, and not just shooting wildly into the night sky, hoping to hit your stars. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'll talk to you again next week. You've been listening to the Build Your Wealth podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you don't miss an episode by subscribing to the show. I've included any links to specifics mentioned in the show notes section below so you can easily grab them there. I hope you'll consider leaving a review for me and let me know what you thought about the show, and if it helped you or resonated with you in some way, I'd love to hear about that too. Thanks again, and I'll see you over on the next episode. To your success.